Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. It's me again. We're going to do some ironing today together, I thought. I iron my pillowcases. Yes, I'm doing my Mrs. Mop job again. So, as I haven't got much time, I'll be doing this at the same time. I hope you don't mind. I don't iron duvets, not anymore. I used to, but sod that for a game of soldiers. Thank you all very much for the comments on the video last night. And I saw that one or two Meghan supporters, fans, nice people, they'd commented and they'd sort of said, Harry and Meghan don't owe anybody, us the public, or the press, any answer as to whether they're coming or not. Now, my response to that is, it's not a private family occasion, guys. It's a state event. And then this morning, I read articles, and I mean, honestly, only the people themselves and God himself will know if there is an ounce of truth in any of it. But what I have seen is that Harry and Meghan are going to let the palace know, and the Norfolks, presumably, in the next few days. They're going to let them know if they're coming. Now, if there is an ounce of truth in that, and it could be absolute bullshit, and I've got to be honest, if I was in their shoes and that's total bullshit that someone's just made up, that would really make me angry. It would actually make me want to make an announcement myself, I'd say, if I was going to go or not, rather than have people make stuff up. But people are saying that that's the thing. But that apparently the Duke, as they refer to Harry, has a great many questions about how it's all going to work at the coronation. Well, again, if there's an ounce of truth in that, wow, self-importance or what? Again, I use the analogy of somebody else's wedding, anybody's wedding. How's this going to work for me? How's this all going to pan out for me? I need to know how it's all going to be organised. They're not going to be playing a role. They're not going to be on the balcony. All they've got to do is walk into a church, well, the Abbey, sit there, be quiet, sing the right hymns, without having to Google them and learn them first, presumably. And I've got to tell you, I don't know any of the hymns. Whenever I've had to go to church doing that, I just sort of looking up and down everybody else. That's all they've got to do, and then leave. That's it. There is nothing. Why would the Duke have a great many questions about how this is all going to work? It's a coronation, it's a state event, it's an international event, actually, because there'll be representatives of the Commonwealth there, I would presume. And far great more many important people than those two. But what I do think is very, very important, because it's his birthday, is Archi. Now, I don't know about any of you guys out there remember or are currently in the process of, with little ones, throwing birthday parties. But Graham and I always used to really push the boat out for R2. In fact, my mother used to tease me about it and say, oh, you're overcompensating for all the birthday parties I didn't do for you. We did everything. It was Faith, she changed her name, my daughter's name. When she was 3, I hired a stretched limousine. I got it cheap. I got it for 70 quid. The fella had a job on in Brighton anyway, and I said, oh, just pick us up at my mum's, which was the drive in Hove, drive us round the town centre a bit, and then drop us off at the Palace Pier. That'd be great, just 30 minutes in the car. And the kids loved it, absolutely loved it, because I think my daughter was largely oblivious because she was only 3, and of course Benji didn't have a clue because he was only a few months old. But I've done trampoline parties, ball parties, princess and pirate party. Oh my God, we did 2 of them. And the first one we did, I was worried that nobody would turn up. So I said, we did it in the Yacht Club bar, which we hired for 20 quid. And I hired a magician, that was the expensive part. And I'd put on the invitations, I'd done them like little treasure maps and stuff in a scroll, all rolled up in a thing with a ribbon tied round it and stuff, with a map of how to find Sussex Yacht Club clubhouse. And I'd said refreshments included for mums and dads. So all the mums and dads turned up with all of the kids. I mean, the whole class turned up. I was really pleased. I thought, well, good. barely fitted in there. There must have been, kids and adults included, there must have been about 90 people there. And they were all sitting down silent, looking at me and Graham. And Graham and I started saying, what would everybody like to drink? And the first mum and dad said, oh, I'll have a pint of lager and she'll have a gin and tonic. And Graham and I were like, oh my God, there's been a horrible misunderstanding here. This is why all the parents have turned up. And we said, well, we've got tea, coffee, or lemonade, or orange juice. And the faces on all the parents were like, are you kidding me? I'm missing a football match for this. Anyway, The Magician was a big hit. So I've seen the photographs that they've done of Archie's few first birthdays, and they look a little on the sad side to me. I mean, I'd love to see bouncy castles and, you know, have some imagination, rent an ice rink. They're millionaires. They could go crazy. But to me, if I was in their shoes, the most important people in the world would be Archie and Lily. And even their supporters here have sort of said, you know, oh, I hope they stay away, or I hope they go. But none of their actual fans that comment on here have said it's Archie's birthday. And I feel the little guy is going to get a bit, you know, left out, isn't he? Right. Find somewhere clean to put that. I'll get on to the next one. So, I mean, firstly, all this, the Duke has a great many questions. Does he? Does he really? He has a great many questions about how it's all going to work. Deary, deary me. I don't think they realise how insignificant they are to the coronation, which is a huge thing. A huge thing. I can't wait to see what Camilla's going to wear. I know not everyone's a fan, and I'm not commenting one way or the other, but she is the Queen, and it's going to be partly her coronation as well. And I really, really, really loved her wedding outfit, which I think I've mentioned before. So I'm holding out, and of course the Princess of Wales. I can't wait to see what she's going to wear. And it will be a very, very interesting thing to see, because now I know they're not on the balcony. That's great, because I really feel that would have been just the kibosh. I mean, why not invite a few movie stars and Dolly Parton and, you know, Tom Jones and some other people and put them on the balcony too? Because Harry and Meghan are members of their family, but they're not members of our public working royal family anymore. So to see the misrememberer and husband on that balcony would have been, you know, very Netflixy moment for me. And I wasn't going to watch if they were going to be on it. But I will watch now that I know they're not going to be on it. And I've never seen a coronation in my lifetime. I expect one or two of you guys out there will have seen the previous coronation. Remember my gran saying, you know, she'd seen quite a few, because my gran was born in 1904. So she probably would have remembered, well, she wouldn't have remembered Edward VII being, well, I don't know, she might have done. He became king in 1910, didn't he? But she would have remembered George V and all the abdication stuff, and she will have remembered George VI. So, but for us lot, because our late monarch, you know, lived for so long, never seen anything like this before. But yes, so Archie, I am so hoping that he will have the birthday party of all birthday parties, because I think the poor little guy deserves it. What do you guys think? And what are you up to today? Are you arranging a birthday party? I'll tell you what, Queen Gertie ages ago did a video. I was in stitches. She said she took her little boy to a birthday party, and the mum had hired a fairy angel, and that this girl had turned up with like cardboard wings, not even painted. You can see they were from Amazon boxes. I've seen a few disastrous ones, but our two, their birthday parties have always been extravaganzas extreme. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. As always, look forward to hearing your comments below.